know you're right outside that Islamic Center right now. What's going on the ground? What's the latest?
Burgers, salads, toast.
Hey there, Ashin. Yeah, a lot of emotion here today, even still, just in the last little while. We've had a lot of members of the center here who have been at a home next to us, who have been quite emotional and hugging and really coming together and embrace and talk about what they went through yesterday. But we are getting incredible detail of how this went down. First of all, the folks who are showing up here today, there have been a number of community members leaving flowers. They have been creating a memorial outside the front gate. The center here, the Islamic Center, is closed today and still pretty much for the most part a crime scene and frozen on the inside where the three died. But, you know, the security guard is what the talk here is about. I mean, it's also one of the most searched items to find out more about Amin Abdullah, who we now know a father of 8. And police are now saying that what he did was incredible, that he saw these two teenagers run by fully armed with multiple guns, and he engaged them and was able to delay them. They had body armor on. He was able to delay them long enough that everybody inside, he got on his radio and called for a lockdown, as is something that they are trained to do, to go into lockdown mode. That gave 140 children enough time to get into lockdown all the way down to kindergarten. And when they got into the building after engaging with him and having a gun battle, he was hit, he was down. Everybody was in hiding at that point, and they looked around and they couldn't find anybody. Then they went outside and found 2 other adults who they shot and killed. And by that point, it was so delayed, according to police, that San Diego police were swarming in with lights and sirens, and they immediately got in their car and took off. But it was the hero security guard who the belief is stopped them from going in and opening fire on everybody inside.
Yeah, just the true definition of a hero. Alex, we're seeing a ton of searches about Kane Clark and Caleb Vasquez, the 2 suspects that you mentioned. What do we know about them?
Well, apparently they left what the FBI is calling a manifesto, and they say that they had a lot of hate, that it was not just about one religion or one race. It was about every religion and every race. The mosque, they don't even know if that was the main target, but they just hated religion, and appears hated pretty much all races in what they were spewing in the writings that they left behind. We know that there were anti-Islamic writings as well in what was found in their car, but at least one of them grew up in this area and went to high school right down the street here, went to high school virtually, it appears. Why he was going virtually, we don't know. But we know that yesterday morning, his mom reported him missing and said that he had left a note, a suicide note, and that he was in camo when he left, and he had stolen her guns, and he was out of there with a friend, and there was a wide search here around San Diego looking for them using license plate readers and tracking their phones. San Diego police went to a mall. They went to a school as well, thinking that they were there, and they couldn't find them. And as they were searching for them, they got the call of an active shooter here. So they are local kids. They grew up in this area, and it appears, according to the FBI, they had a lot of hate.
Just harrowing details. Alex Stone, thank you so much for being there, man.